What is going on, Cardano community? Welcome back to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed, and in today's video, and as always, we're going to be breaking down all of the latest news and developments surrounding the Cardano network. The first thing I want to do is break down the active validators by chain, in which we're going to be comparing Avalanche, Cardano, Near, Solana, and Aptos. Following that, I want to take a brief look at the Nakamoto coefficient for Cardano, which is going to be an index giving us an idea as to how decentralized the network currently is. Second, I want to jump into some updates surrounding SundaeSwap, which has just undergone a brand new rebrand, and they're now also going to be focusing on 2 additional products on top of their DEX or their decentralized exchange. Third, I've got an upcoming NFT mint that I'm excited to share with you guys, which is going to be surrounding TapTools, which is arguably one of the biggest analytics platforms right now on the Cardano network. So make sure to stick around for that. In closing of today's video, we're going to be chatting a little bit about Indigo, which has just hit an all-time high in regards to its governance token, which is going to be the Indy token. But on top of that, they have now completed their 3rd Cardano Project Catalyst proposal, which is going to be surrounding a DEX SDK, which has now been open sourced. And then there's also an on-chain governance proposal right now in order to create a technical working group that I want to share with you guys here in the community. Now, as always, before we jump into today's jam-packed video, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal here is to provide you guys in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews surrounding the top projects and builders in the Cardano ecosystem. If you guys here would like to support me on my mission to educate the broader Cardano community, then consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. That said, let's go ahead and jump into our very first topic today, which is going to be a brief comparison of some of the active validators by chain. Now, for this particular portion, I am going to get myself out of the way so you guys can see this entire graphic here. But what this is going to be depicting is going to be the active validator nodes hosting by distribution. So as you guys can see there, we have Avalanche, Cardano, Near, Solana, and Aptos. Now, there's going to be 2 major things that I want to show off here or highlight as a part of this update. So number 1 is going to be the fact that Cardano is going to have the highest active validators on this chart. As you guys can see, we have over 2,500 validators. And if they're actually counting these as stake pools, I believe we're right at about 2,900. So this might actually be a little outdated. And I'm actually getting that number given the recent poll or the recent vote that we just had regarding the K parameter. Coming in at number 2, we've got Solana with a little bit over 1,800 validators. And then we've got a huge drop off there to about 1,100, coming in at number 3 with Avalanche. And then we've got Near with 210 validators and Aptos, which is arguably the newest network right now with 108 validators. So Cardano well ahead of the competition when it comes to the actual total number of validators or nodes. The second thing that I wanted to highlight here is going to be the fact that Cardano also has the highest number of self-hosted validators. So you guys can think of these as bare metal nodes or bare metal servers, which again help out here when it comes to decentralization. So not only do we have the highest total number of validators, we also have the highest number of self-hosted validators. Now, if you guys want to break this down on your own, I will leave the link to this down below, but this is available or made available by Masari. Jumping into the next tab, I do also want to quickly touch on the Nakamoto coefficient. So this is a representation of how decentralized Cardano is. And as you guys can see, our Nakamoto coefficient has been relatively high, and so has our MAV. Now, the MAV is going to be the minimum attack vector, which again is a representation of how decentralized the network is. And the higher the MAV score, which is that second row there at the very bottom, the better. So right now we're at about 27 to 28, kind of fluctuating between those 2 values there. But again, just wanted to quickly touch on that to give you guys an idea as to how well we are currently doing. So that is going to be it there for the very first portion of today's video, touching on the self-hosted nodes as well as the Nakamoto coefficient. The next update I want to jump into is going to be surrounding unique account growth on the network. And I also want to touch on some updates here regarding a platform that has just closed down. So coming in at number one, we've got a marketplace, which is going to be explosive. And this is actually going to be the platform that has just closed down. They were also known as CNFT.io. Now, they were one of the first platforms that I personally actually traded NFTs on when I first came into the Cardano ecosystem late in 2021. And they have announced that they just have not had enough trading volume on the actual marketplace in order to keep it alive. If you guys are not aware, JPEG.store has more than 95% of the current market share when it comes to NFT trading on the Cardano network. And we're also expecting platforms like Flipper.io and Plutus.art to somewhat eat into a little bit of that market share, but they are a lot newer and they've got a long way to go in terms of catching up to the big dog, which again is going to be JPEG.store. So even though we've got Explosive coming in at number one with 467 new accounts being created on the platform, they are going to be closing down. So that in my particular eyes there would actually take them away from that number one spot because they're no longer going to be a Cardano actual project. Coming in at number two, we've got an NFT project, which is going to be Chilled Kongs with a unique account growth of 976 accounts over the course of the last week. Coming in at number three is going to be Plutus.art, which I just spoke about. And again, they're going to be a marketplace trying to gain a little bit more adoption and a little bit more familiarity with the entire Cardano community. So they have a total of 192 brand new accounts being utilized or being added to their platform over the course of the last week. Right behind them at number four, we've got the JED stablecoin, which I don't think needs any introduction. And then at number five, we've got Indigo Protocol with 2.5K or 2,500 brand new unique accounts that have been launched on the platform. Now, this is just going to be an introduction into Indigo, as I've got a fully dedicated section that I'm going to be touching on here at the end of today's video. So make sure to stick around for that particular update. Coming in at number six, we've got Optum Finance, followed by Dead Pixels, at number seven. And then we've got Cardania at number eight. SundaeSwap, which I'm also going to be touching on as a part of today's video, which has just gotten a brand new rebrand, coming in at number nine. And then at number 10, we've got AADA Finance, which is going to be launching their V2 version of the protocol here any day. So that is going to do it there for that particular update. Again, touching on the unique account growth that we've seen within the Cardano ecosystem. Now, as promised, we are going to be touching on SundaeSwap. And what I want to mention here, and this was just released today, is going to be the fact that they're not only going to be venturing out, they're also going to be rebranding just to Sundae Labs. So this was released by the official SundaeSwap Twitter, and it states here that as of today, SundaeSwap Labs becomes Sundae Labs. Over the past year, we've been working or making development efforts outside of SundaeSwap, which is going to be their infamous DEX, which was, I believe, the first AMM style DEX that launched on Cardano in the beginning of 2022. That said, you may not have known about their two additional products, which include a rewards platform as well as a governance portal. So they left a link to their article, which I'm going to jump into here. And as always, I've already highlighted some of the key portions that I want to touch on. So I'm going to quickly breeze through this here. But as always, if you guys want to find out more about this, or if you want to read about this on your own, then make sure to check out the description down below. So it states here, change is constant. And over time, it's become clear that our company has outgrown its identity as solely a contributor to SundaeSwap. Again, that's going to be their DEX. While SundaeSwap remains our flagship product, today we're making the decision to drop the swap and move forward as Sundae Labs. As a result, it no longer makes sense, first to use sundaeswap.finance as our domain, and now SundaeSwap and the future products will be accessible through sundae.fi. So they're going to be updating the actual website that you guys are currently using in order to access the Sundae platform. Along with this change, we're going to be bringing forward two products in particular that we've been previously offering but haven't explicitly been advertising. So the first is going to be what they refer to as Sundae Governance, and then the second is going to be Sundae Rewards. Sundae Governance is going to be their layer 2 governance solution for projects building on Cardano that has been running for Noom and Maker, and it was also recently used by the Cardano Foundation for last year's summit voting. Second is going to be Sundae Rewards, which is going to be their token distribution service that currently powers Indigo and Liquid Labs. Now, both of those platforms are offering their own rewards, and again, they're going to be doing that through the use of Sundae Rewards. If you'd like to learn more about either of these two services, then you can go ahead and head over to sundae.fi. If I jump over into this next tab here, this is the current website, which is SundaeSwap.finance. And as you guys can see, we've got access to the exchange or the DEX, as well as the governance portal and their rewards platform. So huge congratulations to the SundaeSwap team here, expanding and venturing out into new endeavors as we'd like to see. And again, I think that a lot of people first came into Cardano given the actual launch of the SundaeSwap DEX. I definitely remember that particular day. And if you do, and remember how crazy and hectic that entire event was, then make sure to leave a comment down below. That's going to wrap it up there for that second brief update surrounding SundaeSwap and their brand new rebrand into Sundae Labs. The next update I want to touch on is going to be surrounding one of the top analytics platforms on Cardano right now, which is going to be TapTools. If you guys are not familiar with TapTools, they launched about, I want to say maybe 8 to 9 months ago, and they were actually a product of Project Catalyst. So now that they've actually delivered and they've been adopted, they're looking to begin an NFT sale. Now, this is going to be for quote unquote Tappy. Tappy is going to be the icon or the mascot for the TapTools platform. And on the next tab here, we've got some of the details surrounding the upcoming NFT Mint. So it states here that the NFT Mint for TapTools, which will give you access to TapTools Pro. Again, keep in mind that this platform already has a free section, but they've also got a Pro platform, which the NFT will now give you access to. So as a part of this upcoming Tappy NFT Mint, this is going to be kicking off on June 17th at 1700 UTC with a total supply of 5,555 of these NFTs going for a 420 ADA price. If we convert that to US dollars right now, that comes out to about $100 US. And in terms of whitelisting, there's going to be a maximum limit of 2 whitelists per NFT mint, per account. Moving over into the next tab here, it states that all accounts with a wallet connected to the portfolio tracker are going to be automatically whitelisted for their Tappy Mint. And keep in mind that this only includes the first 5 wallets connected to their portfolio tracker. And if you already missed this, then it is a bummer because the snapshot was taken on June 10th, which was about 3 days ago. So let me know what you guys think down below. I know that this particular NFT mint has gained a mixed reaction from the community. Some people think that the ADA price is a little bit expensive, but keep in mind that this entire project, or TapTools in general, came out of Project Catalyst. So a lot of the work that they have done was using the Cardano treasury, and up until now they haven't actually gotten any fundraising or done any crowdfunding from the actual Cardano community. On top of that, the majority, I would say about 80 to 90% of the platform is currently free. And so if you guys want to leverage and take advantage of some of their pro features, then you can go ahead and purchase the Tappy NFT, which again will give you lifetime access to their pro tools. If on the other hand, you don't think that it's worth the value, again, you can still access the free version of TapTools. That is going to wrap it up there for that very update surrounding TapTools. The next and the very last update that I want to touch on, as promised, is going to be surrounding Indigo. Now, this particular token has been on fire here over the course of the last 2 weeks, making an all-time high since it launched in November of 2022. That said, let's go and jump straight on in. And the first thing I want to touch on is going to be a brand new proposal for a technical working group, which is now live. Let me zoom in just a little bit here so you guys can read this. But it states here from the official Indigo Twitter, the TWG, or the Technical Working Group, will consist of experienced builders and developers from the Cardano ecosystem. Now, the people that they're actually voting to nominate include Nico Arqueros, who's going to be the founder of DC Spark, Conrad Cordero, who's going to be the co-founder of Core Labs, as well as the head honcho there for the ADA handles. If you guys are not familiar with ADA handles, they're going to be an NFT-powered wallet naming solution, which has been widely adopted with over 100,000 of their NFTs minted on the Cardano network. Third, we've got a request to add Pi Lanningham, who's going to be the CTO for SundaeSwap, which I just mentioned will be rebranding to Sundae Labs. And then very lastly, we've got the addition of Andrew Westberg, who's going to be the CTO of Noom, as well as the head honcho, I believe, for the Drip Drops project. I actually had the pleasure of meeting and speaking with Andrew at the recent CNFTCon event that took place in Las Vegas of last year, and that was an awesome experience. Again, I think that all four of these members here have done their own huge contributions to not only the Cardano ecosystem, but to the Cardano community, and I think that they are all more than able to be a part of this TWG. Now, I'm personally not going to be voting on this proposal, but they definitely have my vote here in regards to their adoption or their addition into the TWG. If I jump over into the actual app for Indigo, which is available at app.indigoprotocol.io, we've got the official on-chain governance, which is going to be taking place for this proposal. So again, not only has Indigo really done an amazing job of launching an application, they've also incorporated a DEX aggregator, as well as really done an amazing job of utilizing their on-chain governance platform. As you guys are probably more than aware, a lot of these projects building on Cardano always tease out or advertise their governance portal, but Indigo has done an amazing job of really actually utilizing it and allowing the community to have a final say in regards to all of their proposals that are proposed to the community. So right now, for this particular vote, again, this is for the TWG, or the Technical Working Group, made up of those four members that I just touched on. We've got a total of 1 million votes for yes, compared to a measly 11,000 votes for no. So I don't think there's any concerns at all as to whether or not this particular proposal will pass. It's just a matter of time. And it's actually going to be ending tomorrow at, let's see here, 3:22 p.m., but I'm not sure in which time zone. So a little bit less than 24 hours to go before this proposal closes, again, for the Technical Working Group, which has just been launched by the Indigo protocol. Now, the next update I want to touch on, again, which is going to be focusing, on Indigo, is going to be the fact that they have now open sourced what they call Dexter, which is going to be a multi-dex SDK, which is also going to be the third completed Catalyst proposal project by the Indigo team. So I need to go back and actually double check what the first and the second projects were that the Indigo protocol was funded by in terms of Project Catalyst, but Dexter is going to be the third, which they have now delivered and open sourced to the community. So if you're a developer on Cardano and you're looking to take advantage of some of the DEX tools, then definitely make sure to go ahead and check this out. Now, as a brief review or overview of what Dexter is, it states here that Dexter is going to be a community-focused, customizable TypeScript SDK for interacting with Cardano DEXs, which include SundaeSwap, MinSwap, MuesliSwap, Wing Riders, and Wi-Fi. So all of the top dexes, and I'm sure that as we begin to get the rollout and the addition of Axo Trade, as well as the rollout of the Genius Dex, that both of those platforms will also be added to the Dexter open source tool. Scrolling down a little bit further, I want to quickly touch on some of the key benefits and features that Dexter will aim to provide. So number one, it'll have the ability to pull liquidity pools from any of the dexes that I mentioned before using BlockFrost and Kupo. It's also going to have the ability to submit and cancel swap orders. Third, you'll be able to leverage Dexter in order to manage your own data, wallets, and assets, as well as metadata, which providers will be able to plug directly into Dexter. In closing, you'll be able to build swap datums given specific parameters using Dexter's definition builder, as well as load wallets using a seed phrase or SIP30 interface using Lucid. Now, I am no developer by any means. I'm just a content creator here providing you guys the latest news on Cardano, but that sounds pretty encompassing here for an open source tool. So again, congratulations to the Indigo team for what they're building and all their contributions to the Cardano ecosystem. Now, I do want to briefly touch on the fact that their Indy token, as a result of all of these bits of news, again, surrounding the TWG, the actual leveraging and the use of the Indigo platform, which is going to be a synthetics platform, giving users in the Cardano community price exposure to assets that may not be native to Cardano, we're now seeing an all-time high when it comes to the value of the Indy token, which is going to be the governance token for the Indigo protocol. So as you guys can see here, during the initial launch, this team did have an airdrop, which kind of drove the price down from an initial all-time high of about 11 ADA per Indy token all the way down to about 3 ADA per Indigo token. So that said, we're right now at about 10.9 or about 11 ADA per Indy token. And again, I think that it's completely warranted given all the contributions and all of the assets being utilized on the Indigo platform. The very last thing I want to touch on here is going to be Project Catalyst and the fact that the 10th round for Project Catalyst will be kicking off beginning on June 21st. As I just mentioned there, it looks like the Indigo team has been taking a lot of advantage of Project Catalyst, again, with the fact that Dexter was their third fully completed project given the funding from Project Catalyst. So it'll be kicking off funding round number 10 with 50 million ADA being given out to the community, and it'll be kicking off on June 21st. We can see that between June 22nd and July 13th, there's going to be the proposal submission process with the final deadline on July 17th. Following that, we're going to have a community review taking place from July 20th through August 20th. And then between August 31st and September 14th, which is going to be a 2-week period, we're going to have the ability to vote for which projects that we want to support using Cardano's treasury. On September 21st, again, this is going to be an approximation, we should see the voting results. And then at the very end of October, or at the beginning of October, excuse me, we should have the projects onboarding as a part of Project Catalyst. I believe that that is going to bring me to a close here for today's Cardano Scoop. If you guys found any of today's information to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content just like this covering Cardano and all the builders in the ecosystem, consider subscribing. And if you guys have any questions surrounding anything that we touched on, whether it be surrounding Cardano development, SundaeSwap, TapTools, or Indigo, then please make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.